It could be either. And there are proponents of intelligent design who think everything was front-end loaded at the beginning of the universe, others who see it at the beginning of life. I actually hold the view that there were multiple infusions of new information along the way. And there's one on this very question: could you explain the origin of life from the fine-tuning of the laws of physics at the very beginning? I think there's a good scientific reason that you couldn't. There's not enough information in that fine-tuning to account for the information you need to build a cell. And so I think we're looking at multiple infusions of information, if you will. But to explain why would take a little more time than we have tonight, but I'd refer you to that video. It's a great question. And it is an open question for people who are open to considering design. It's not a one-size-fits-all. There's different models of intelligent design that scientists are developing.
Many people right now are looking into the works of Alvin Plantinga as a philosopher of science, right? And if I'm not mistaken, you have a PhD,
I know Al well,
right?
Yeah,
in
yeah.
philosophy of science. And many people seem to have this view that you and him are kind of like antithetical, you know? In some ways of like either because he believes in like guided evolution and, you know, all that.
Let me clarify his position, because we just had Al out to the office. I've known him since the 80s, and he's been really a friend of the ID movement. His main work in the philosophy of science has been challenging this principle known as methodological naturalism that says that scientists must limit themselves to materialistic explanations even if they're looking at the Rosetta Stone or digital information in DNA. And he says, no, there's no presumption of a materialistic explanation. We need to be open to all explanations. He's making on evolution a much more narrow logical point that randomness might be, what we look at as randomness might be, there might be a hidden hand behind it. And so he's also deeply skeptical about the scientific evidence for neo-Darwinism. So I think there are very few differences actually between Plantinga and most of the leaders in the ID movement. There have been some interesting discussions about this issue of randomness. Jay Richards, my colleague, has had some very good online discussions with Al on these questions. I'd refer you to those. There are some slight differences in opinion about the extent to which Darwinism is inherently committed to a materialistic approach and the extent to which it might be harmonizable, if you will, with some sort of guidance. But if there is guidance to the mechanism, that would be a form of intelligent design.
Yeah. So my question was, is there any difference between you? And if not, which you have said that like it is, what is it, or is it, you know?